Kendall Jenner tells her mom Kris to calm down, after Kris pointed out that Kendall is the last sibling to have a baby. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Kendall Jenner recently reacted to something her mom Kris Jenner said that made her feel a bit uncomfortable. In a new episode of their reality show The Kardashians, the family had a dinner together that was catered by Nobu at Kylie Jenner's house. The dinner brought together many members of the Kardashian-Jenner family, which is something Kris Jenner really enjoys. For her, nothing compares to being surrounded by her children and grandchildren. However, she also made a comment during the episode that got people talking, especially her daughter Kendall. During a private interview for the show, Kris Jenner talked about how thankful she felt for everything that had happened during the year. She shared how grateful she was, especially because she had gone through a few health issues that made things scary for a while. But she explained that everything is fine now. She mentioned how happy she was about the birth of Kourtney Kardashian Barker's new baby boy, Rocky. She said it felt like such a blessing to have him in the family. Then, she went on to say that Kendall is the only one of her children who hasn't had a baby yet, adding that you never know what could happen in the future. Kendall, who wasn't present at the family dinner, saw the moment later and didn't exactly love what her mom said. In her own confessional, she reacted to Kris's comment. Kendall, who is 28 years old, said her mom made the situation way more awkward than it needed to be. She added that her mom really needed to calm down a bit. It was clear from Kendall's tone that she wasn't angry, but the moment definitely made her feel uncomfortable. Earlier in the season, Kris Jenner opened up about her emotions regarding pregnancy. She had a heartfelt conversation with her oldest daughter, Kourtney Kardashian Barker, about how she felt knowing she would never be pregnant again. Kourtney, who is 45 years old, asked her mom if that made her feel sad. Kris didn't even try to hide her emotions. She immediately started tearing up and said not to make her cry. She explained that being pregnant had been one of the most beautiful experiences of her life, especially the first time she went through it. She called Kourtney her little pepper, and said that she had turned out to have a strong personality, something she didn't expect. Kourtney laughed and replied that she's an Aries, which is known as a very fiery and bold star sign. She said it made sense that she turned out the way she did. Kris laughed along with her and it was a warm and emotional moment between mother and daughter. Kris Jenner is the mother of 6 children. Her daughters are Kourtney, Kim, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie. She also has one son, Rob Kardashian. Among all her children, Kendall is the only one who hasn't had a child of her own yet. That seems to be something Kris thinks about often, especially when she talks about the joys of having grandchildren. It's clear that she loves being a grandmother and she probably hopes to have even more grandchildren in the future. Throughout the years, Kris has always been open about how much she values family. She often shares how proud she is of her children and how much she loves watching their families grow. Each time one of her daughters has a baby, she treats it like a new adventure. She loves spending time with the little ones and helping out however she can. For Kris, nothing seems more fulfilling than being there for her family in every way possible. Still, even though she means well, sometimes her words can catch her kids off guard. That seems to be the case with Kendall this time. The comment about Kendall being the only one without a child seemed innocent from Kris's point of view, but Kendall clearly found it a bit too much. She didn't seem angry, just a little thrown off by the pressure it might bring. It's not unusual for people to ask women in their late 20s or 30s about children, but when it comes from family, especially on national television, it can feel more personal. Kendall has always been a little more private than some of her siblings. While her sisters have shared so much of their lives on social media and on the show, Kendall tends to keep more of her personal life away from the spotlight. She's focused on her career as a model and has made a name for herself in the fashion industry. Her journey has looked different from her sisters, and that's something she seems to be proud of. She's built her career on her own terms, and she's taken her time with big life decisions. It's also worth noting that every person has their own path, and not everyone chooses to have children at the same time or even at all. Kendall's life may be filled with different goals, dreams, and timelines, and that's perfectly okay. From her reaction, it's clear she just wants her family, especially her mom, to respect that. Kris probably didn't mean any harm. In fact, she likely brought it up out of excitement and hope. She seems to enjoy the idea of more babies in the family, and as a grandmother, that's understandable. But her excitement might have come off as pressure to Kendall, especially when said on camera. Families often have moments like this, filled with love, but also a little bit of tension when it comes to different expectations. Kendall's response, though short, gave people a chance to see how she feels. She didn't yell or argue. She simply said that her mom needed to relax. It was a moment that many people could relate to, especially those who have faced questions from their own families about life choices. Whether it's about marriage, children, or careers, people often get asked about these topics in ways that feel uncomfortable. And Kendall's reaction reminds us all that it's okay to set boundaries and speak up when something feels a little too much. As the Kardashian-Jenner family continues to share their lives with the world, it's moments like this that stand out. Not just because of the fame, but because they show the human side of their relationships. Behind the cameras, they deal with the same types of situations many families face. The mix of love, pressure, and personal space is something almost everyone can relate to. This particular situation between Kris and Kendall may not be a huge conflict, but it does highlight how words can affect people differently. What might seem like a harmless joke or a hopeful comment to one person can feel like pressure or judgment to another. It's a gentle reminder for families to be thoughtful with their words, especially about personal topics like having children. Kris's love for her family shines through everything she does. She has built a strong and close-knit family and continues to be there for all of her children and grandchildren. Her desire to have more grandkids is probably just a reflection of how much she enjoys her role in the family. For her, being a mom and grandmother is the most important job in the world. Kendall, on the other hand, is continuing to live her life on her own schedule. She is successful, independent, and knows what she wants. While some may wonder when or if she'll have kids, the truth is that only Kendall can decide that for herself. And she seems comfortable with that choice. The episode gave viewers a chance to see how even small comments can lead to deeper thoughts and feelings. It showed that being part of a big family has its highs and lows. But at the end of the day, they all care deeply for one another. And even though Kendall felt her mom's comment was a bit too much, it doesn't change the love they share. As fans continue to follow their journey, moments like this remind everyone that even the most famous families are still families at heart. They laugh, they cry, they joke, and sometimes they make each other a little uncomfortable. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.